Ciao everyone, this is Amy Wheeler and I'd like to welcome you all to Italy. Italy is a southern peninsula of Europe extending into the Mediterranean Sea with an extensive coastline. Italy also includes the large southern islands of Sicily and Sardinia. The land borders in the north are shared with Switzerland, France, Austria, and Slovenia. It is largely a rugged and mountainous country, resulting in a primarily Mediterranean plant life rich in grapevines, olive groves, rosemary, and lavender. Approximately 80 to 85% of Italy's population identifies themselves as Roman Catholic, but only about one-third are active church members. Walled within Rome is Vatican City, also known as Holy See, the epicenter of Roman Catholicism ruled by Pope Francis. The Italian government disestablished Roman Catholicism as the state religion in 1985. However, it is still deeply intertwined in the culture of Italy. State schools still teach it to children, and public policy is still heavily influenced by the church. The country is covered in beautiful basilicas, and crucifixes are required to be hung in courts and schools. Italians take immense pride in their appearance and personal image. Ingrained in the Italian psyche is the concept of la bella figura, translated as the beautiful figure. However, this concept goes beyond the physical beauty. It is the Italians' natural expression of elegance in everything from the way they dress, the way they eat, the way they treat their guests, to their incredible artwork and architecture. It is the art of making a good impression. The official language in Italy is Italian, though there are small regions of German, French, and Slovene-speaking minorities. Approximately two-thirds of the population live in urban areas like Rome, Milan, and Naples. All Italians have access to safe, clean water, and 99% of the population is literate. Italy, like other European countries, has socialized medicine, and access to healthcare is safe and affordable. The total population of Italy is approximately 61.7 million people, with a median age of 44.5 years. Almost 21% of Italians are older than 65 years. The country faces serious problems as the numbers of aging Italians are expected to continue to rise dramatically, creating a great burden for the already jeopardized economy. Italy is one of the Group of 7 countries and the Eurozone's third largest economy. It is divided into a well-developed northern industrial zone and a less developed agricultural southern region. The Italian economy is largely driven by small to medium-sized family-owned businesses who manufacture high-quality consumer goods, but it's estimated that as much as 17% of the country's gross domestic product is comprised of underground economic activity, prevalent in the agriculture, construction, and service sectors. As a result of the recent steep recessions, Italy's gross domestic product has shrunk 7.3% in the last 5 years. Economists are worried that another quarter of negative growth will force Italy back into recession, and the country's debt is now approximately 130% of gross domestic product, making them one of the most indebted countries in the world. The two-tiered Italian labor market conditions further deteriorated in 2013, with overall unemployment at 12.4% and youth unemployment at about 40%. Approximately 30% of Italy's population are living below the poverty line, with around 5 million people living in absolute poverty. It's impossible to talk about Italian media without mention of convicted tax evader and ex-Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Mr. Berlusconi, who is frequently referred to as a media tycoon, owns the largest broadcasting company in the country, Mediaset. He has long been accused of corruption and close ties to the Sicilian mafia, and he's widely criticized for using his media power for political gain. Many allege that Italian media has limited freedom of expression, and according to The Economist, Berlusconi controls 90% of all national television broadcasting, a clear conflict of interest with his political aspirations. The Italian television audience is primarily concentrated within the 8 free national channels, 3 of which are owned by Mediaset. Another 3 of these channels are owned by RAI, the broadcasting company owned by the Christian Democrat political party. Needless to say, the Italian television market is highly politicized. It's estimated that 95.5% of all Italian households own a television. Italians love to watch TV, and they rank among the highest globally for viewership, averaging over 4 hours a day. The largest share of radio listenership in Italy belongs to private networks which broadcast popular music. However, RAI owns Radio Uno, Due, and Tre, which broadcast news, culture, and public affairs. These stations have a fairly large concentration of listenership, with an average daily audience of almost 12 million people. It's estimated that Italian radio reaches almost 73% of the population over 11 years old. In Italy, newspaper readership is quite low when compared to other European countries. The Italian newspaper market is characterized by fragmented ownership and is segmented into paid-for national dailies, paid-for local and regional dailies, and free dailies distributed in some cities. There are about 150 paid-for dailies, but readership is on the decline. Recent readership statistics report only about 5 million copies of paid-for publications are sold daily. Fashion magazines have retained popularity in Italy, with the top 10 women's publications circulating nearly 3 million copies monthly. The Italian outdoor media landscape is primarily controlled by Clear Channel, CBS Outdoor, JC Deco, and Publispaz. Clear Channel Outdoor are the exclusive operator of airport advertising space at the Rome Airport, travel hub for more than 41 million passengers every year. Only about 64% of the Italian population are online, but even though broadband is fairly limited in Italy, there are over 22 million Facebook users. There's also been exponential growth of the blogging community in Italy, primarily concentrated within groups of mothers talking about their families and food bloggers. As you can see, there are many challenges, but also a great many opportunities in Italy for a business who desires global expansion. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my presentation on Italy.